Welcome back, guys, to Metaphor Refantazio. Last episode, defeating a parasitic Valmo within Great Worm Homo Butera's innards, we managed to join an expulsion of waste to leave through the butt. Traumatized and smelly, we nonetheless continued in our hunt for our bounty, Heismay. Reaching rank 4 with more, thanks to raising our merchant archetype to be able to see all future follower abilities, we then arrived at the giant sandworm's nest, seeing a hut and approaching it to be saved and then attacked by our target. Failing at figuring out Heismay's clone trick, as we now investigate the area to work out how to lure our bounty out yet again. His side's pretty shabby too, so are my skills. By all appearances, he does live here. Perfect. Let's see if we can find any proof that he's a kidnapper.
Doesn't it seem...
Man, I wish I just went with my original just guard strategy. That seemed like it for me. Ujif tribe, small in stature with bat-like wings and ears due to their singular appearance and low population, as well as their strong night vision derived from their nocturnal nature and keen hearing. It's not uncommon for them to be perceived as unnerving, and they often become targets of discrimination. Most Ujif live modest lives at the bottom of the social hierarchy with few positions of status. With their natural agility, some are able to make a living as warriors. Most Ujif, however, prefer farming to hunting, making them a tribe that is warm in nature that values harmony. The flip side of this is that they are often indecisive, second-guessing themselves out of concern for what others want. This has lowered their relative status in the world. They also taunt you a lot and make you feel very upset about yourself. There's the map, Shadow Guard. He was a knight. I suspected as much when we learned he was Ujif, but now... Is that a different group from the one you were in, Hulkenberg?
The truth is...
Titles and honours go to Clemar, or those who resemble them enough. Other knights work in their shadow. Their duties lesser.
I get it now.
Hence the name Shadow Guard, then. Discrimination even among the knights. So much for our civilized age.
Even so.
The Shadow Guard go unseen by the public. Pariahs all, their only focus is skill. Heismay, he must be dangerously skilled. Something else than them random now, the Shadow Guard. One of the two divisions of knights that make up the royal order that serves the crown. The royal order of knights are split into the Holy Guard and the Shadow Guard, but when most speak of royal knights, they are referring exclusively to the former. New members of the Holy Order are announced publicly and are thus required to excel not only martially but also to maintain traditional appearances for ceremonies and other rites. As a result, unofficial tribal discrimination is rampant, with most knights coming from the Clemar or other similarly prestigious tribes. By comparison, Shadow Guard members are not publicly announced and are relegated to less savory tasks. It's common for knights of tribes far removed from Clemar in appearance or standing to be assigned to the Shadow Guard by default. However, as this means its knights are more explicitly chosen for strength and skill rather than prestige, some say that knights of the Shadow Guard tend to be more capable than those in the Holy Guard. Just here chatting, are you, Stroll? This doesn't look like anything like the hideout of a kidnapper. I'll search for more clues.
All right.
There must be something we're missing. Let us investigate further. I mean, there's something a lot of us are missing. Something I'm missing massively. I don't dare look at chat right now for either the mocking or the answer, which I don't want to know. Just in case I have to go through that fight again. What's this jar? Should we try opening it? Wait, don't. I've seen such a thing on my travels before. Ujif tribe has a custom of cremating the dead. They store the bones in an urn for burial.
I see.
So it's an urn, but judging by the size of it, these are a child's bones. He'd not go to such trouble with a child he abducted. It's only a theory, but I suspect this may be Heismay's own child.
And so...
He is but a fallen knight and has a price on his head besides. Under such circumstances, he would not be able to manage a proper burial.
Really?
If he's actually a criminal, then it's what he deserves, but that's still sad for the child.
Look.
Look, all these things have been bundled in multiple layers of cloth.
Indeed.
Fairly tightly at that. It doesn't seem like anything would break if one were to drop it.
Hey!
Now that I look around, everything in this room is bound up in cloth, even the floor and walls. Is it necessary to go to such lengths? Strange the more I think about it.
Strange.
This is...
Is this a letter?
What?
It says,
what?
to Papa, thank you for always working so hard. I hope you and Mama stay in love forever. Sounds like the writing of a child. They managed that much script, they must have been well educated.
Oh.
Was this letter written to Heismay? I wonder if the kids saw him as a good father.
So apparently,
I suppose he's been through his own share of woes, but there's also nothing to clear him of the kidnapping charges. We'll have to hear the truth from him. But can we even catch him? He's fast enough to run circles around us.
No.
A direct confrontation would be difficult, but that he had some weakness we could exploit. We need a way of countering Heismay's agility. Maybe there are some clues in this hut. It's a lot of cloth. We held the urn for ransom. Sounds ridiculously dastardly. If we can attract the human, he would probably have to fight it, or he could just let the human eat us. So none of these, I think, are great options. So let's go with the one that seems like the most benign.
In this place.
There's a lot of cloth in here.
right.
That struck me as well. There's surely some reason. Why does Heismay have so much cloth lying about? To dampen noise? To block out light? Extra bedding? I imagine it's to dampen noise, because most of it is on the ground. Maybe it helps dampen noise.
Aha.
Noise, that's it!
Hey,
Do you think those big ears of his are just for show? He's bound to be much more sensitive to sound than we are. That's how he lives here so safely, I'd wager. In a cave where sound echoes, it'd be easy for him to hear when the human's about.
I see.
I see, so the cloth is a measure against unnecessary noise. Indeed, I've heard it said that New Jeep have excellent night vision and sensitivity to sound.
Then
So if we make a noise so loud that even we can hardly stand it.
nice.
Worth a shot.
Right then, let's get this plan underway.
Heismay! Come out!
Show yourself!
wow, that's some crazy echo.
Kind of nice getting to let loose. Long as I'm yelling anyway.
Louise! You think you're so bloody untouchable, you bastard?
Hey! Big ugly sandwormy human thing! Even Hulkenberg wouldn't eat you!
Gasp! Rejected by Hulkenberg! The ravenous, all-devouring she-beast of the Knight's Order!
Is this what we've come to? Saying whatever's on our minds? Well, so be it.
Kalika! The sound of your wings keeps me up at night! Stroll, you think you're so smart!
I could probably shout something too. Just Hulkenberg!
Hulkenberg, you're... I am absolutely not old-fashioned or stubborn!
You didn't even finish.
Enough! Stop this infernal din! What do you think would happen if that monster showed up without my ears working? You'd all be dead. Is this blasted bounty that important to you?
Here's our guest of honor at last. It was never about the money. Children are missing. We can't just ignore a kidnapper.
Kidnapper? I see now. As you were saying before, they've named me a kidnapper. A monster preying on children.
If the charges are false, I would hear it. In truth, even I've come to doubt the allegations.
And why is that, Lady Knight?
You've lost a child yourself, haven't you? I cannot imagine a parent who has endured such pain would kidnap children, much less sell them off.
Hold on. I can't trust a man who does nothing but flee. The people responsible for my home burning. Zorba, who forced the dead to fight on his behalf. Anyone who can't face reality themselves is capable of any low.
True enough. If we lived in a world where words alone proved us just, I'd not be living in this infernal cave. I'm sorry, but I won't go to the gallows before I've even honored my son's death. If you'll not leave me be, then we decide this another way.
So you're finally ready to fight us properly.
Draw steel. If I'm to take your life, I'll not do it from the shadows. But if you refuse to retreat, then ready your blades.
Okay. We'll make you talk. But now I've got to figure it out again or not. Says not do it from the shadows this time, which is nice. This could mean success for me.
We'll make you talk. Yes, we shall have the truth from you.
Here I come. I'll use this.
Oh, god damn it. I feel hesitation in Heismay's attacks. Could he be wavering about delivering a fatal blow again? The rematch
You're not getting
begins.
away this time.
Okay. This is dumb. Thanks to that cutscene starting this time and me paying really super strong attention, I noticed it instantly. And I didn't notice it at all in the previous battle, which absolutely sucks.
We can do this.
I guess it's an element when I'm looking at a character model or an enemy or anything I don't even notice because you just expect it to be there. But when it's just the absence of it, it's not anything to me. It's just enemy character model. Not every game has a shadow, for
You
goodness
think
sake, of
yourself
an enemy
equal to a
in a
Eugene's
game.
fragility?
God damn.
Merchant!
I did not look at the floor at all. The best thing was I was staring intently at the feet going like, oh, so I was looking in the region going like, is there anything different with the shin guards here? Is there anything different with the outfit? Does the ear have a tear in it at some point? So I was looking really intently at the character model. Or what are you weak to and what are you not?
Roar!
Not electric.
So, you saw through my illusion. Even so, be neither timid nor arrogant.
It's fine, Mr. Heismay. Right now, I've decided to not go full... How do I put it?
Looks like we can't brute force through this
Closing
one.
the distance. After me!
I'll put it as game reviewer mode.
Let's do this!
Let's do this!
Gaming press.
Tis best you.
God, it's so
All these copies.
redonkulously
What if
obvious
someone's
now, and
coming
that's really sad.
Night! I will not let you die.
Thanks.
Helpful as ever.
Coin can solve problems of
I was
late.
like, yeah,
cannot.
we'll try an AoE attack, see if that just tags him. No, it misses. Right, we'll try an AoE spell, because that should get rid of the, or go past
Let's go.
the other stuff I was being hit by is what I thought. No. You know, that won't have hit rates to it.
Scour!
A blunder. Let us clean up this mess.
Not a weakness
I
again,
shall
though.
vanquish evil.
Like, perfect punch him, that would probably do a lot.
I'll crush you! I die hard!
I show no mercy. I was saving
Ah,
this.
next turn is... No, stop
Wait
it.
a second. Something's off. That copy doesn't have a...
Gallica? Gallica. Let's have a chat. Did you say this at all in the first fight, Gallica? Have you only just now decided to help me, Gallica?
There!
I won't hold back. Freeze.
A blunder.
I shall fight as the noble I am. Swordmaster! Withdrawing! No holding back! Run them through!
What? Then my fight ends here. What are those strange powers you possess?
Well, we got some sandsilk gloves. I wonder how that would have played out if I realized the first time. Would I have done the second bit? Probably still. Will I've got a nice reward? I don't know.
Good. 'Tis done.
I'm Dub. Rank 15 Knight.
I shall strive to use this power wisely.
How'd you cast spells without igniters? What was that?
We'll have our answers first. Did you really kidnap all those people from the castle town?
Look around you, lad. Where would I keep the victims? Besides, I'm but one man. Kidnapping on the scale you suggest would be damn near impossible.
You're saying you were framed? This case even reached the capital, you know. Why would anyone pin such horrors on an innocent man?
Innocent is more generous than most of the world sees me. A UG drifter, a disgraced knight condemned by the Sanctists. What couldn't they pin on me? They cast me out, stripped my titles, and put a price on my head. They would even refuse me the right to mourn my child.
And thus, you held back against us, didn't you? You never intended to take our lives. Or perhaps you could not bring yourself to kill a young man.
Just didn't want to make a mess I'd have to clean up.
What do you think? Is Heismay really our kidnapper?
No.
I don't think he's the culprit.
I agree. That being said, it is also hard to imagine the town maintaining a groundless bounty so faithfully. It was the Holy Lady who named the price, and the guard captain who thereby took it to the capital. To end this as a case of mistaken identity would disgrace their word.
You think they must have had a reason to suspect him then? So, what's really going on here?
Sounds to me like between the Guard Corps and Heismay, one of them could be lying. Remember when we first arrived? We almost got killed by a beast they told us would be asleep.
You cannot be suggesting the Guard Corps set us up. Absurd! No, it defies all reason. They went to such lengths to place the request.
So you think I'm the one lying, do you?
Like I said, we don't make assumptions. If there's anything else you know, we're listening.
You're a strange lot. Fine. Investigate this as you see fit. And if you think I'm guilty by the end of it, put me in chains. What's the matter? Never tied up a captive before?
Give it a rest, old man. You'll make a better guide than a captive. Otherwise, the human makes a meal of us, and nobody wins.
A strange lot indeed. And... oh, my God, a foul-smelling one to boot.
Ugh, don't remind me. Sorry, but you'll have to bear with us.
Don't mind me.
If the charges prove false, you should be cleared. Still, we'll have to find a new head to be judged for the competition.
Then we'll just find whoever's actually behind it and have their head instead. Let's contact Barden tomorrow, but we'll keep quiet about Heismay. Can't tell if we can trust the guardsman yet.
What are we going to do with Heismay tonight? We can't exactly set him up at the inn.
Steady on! You're not leaving me to watch our bounty alone!
Fine. Then Nurus and I can both watch him tonight. Better us than risking our candidate, I suppose.
Never would have guessed that the bounty hunting was part of this plan to take the throne. And further, you've a Lady of the Knighthood with you. Not to mention command of a gauntlet runner. I sense there's more to this story, hmm?
You can't make me talk. We're after Luis.
The truth is, we're going after Luis.
Luis, the monstrous child himself, eh? So you're not just grasping at power. You've got convictions. But now the throne's in anyone's reach, eh? Suppose the king's magic wasn't just a myth. Well, hardly matters to an old codger like me. No telling if I'll even live to see the next king crowned.
This is all jolly cheerful. And I'm to be stuck between these two old goats the whole night.
Don't blame me, lad. You volunteered.
Those are some sharp ears. We should probably watch our words in here.
What a terrible day you're telling me.
Hey,
I hope Nurlas and the others are okay. All we can do now is get some rest that will be ready for tomorrow. What a terrible day it was.
What do you want to know?
There's nothing for me to know.
Eh?
I've traveled the world gathering all sorts of information. Money is no longer a going concern for me. There was a time when I'd have to sneak onto the back of carriages in order to get about. In hindsight, I rather enjoyed those times.
Evidently.
So it begins with rumors of safety during a sand flash, unless the trap is already set. Whatever the case, Heismay is safely in our custody. The others will stand vigil over him, so let us rest while we can. It's just me get a rest, no one else. She's still holding the breads. Excellent.
Pleasure to see you.
Bread lady's still here. Intently. We're not allowed out, of course. So it's only bed. It's gone to... It really did go to, for me. Sadness, sadness. I feel humiliated. I'll sleep over it and I'll be fine in the morning.
good night.
Rest well.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
I dreamed we were being chased around by a horde of giant sandworms. I barely got any rest at all. I hope Heismay behaved himself in the Gauntlet Runner. We should go check on him later. We also need to get some information out of Barden. But how do we even bring it up?
Are you awake?
Barden just sent word. A few children disappeared in the night.
Wait, but Heismay's in the Gauntlet Runner, right? If he's still bound there, that basically proves he's innocent. But if he's not, we need to get to the runner, quick.
And so it sorts itself out.
Where's Stroll?
Speak, man. Are you all right? Where's Heismay? What happened here? Oh, he reeks of alcohol. Nuris, you old sot, don't tell me you drank yourself to sleep.
Heismay was blathering on about some things I found rather unnerving. So I had a little sup of the spirits to calm the nerves.
Wow, what a mess.
You witless... Maybe some cold water will wake you up, and if that water's not fixed yet, you're really in it! Ah!
Now, what's all the commotion?
Ah, that was it! He kept scaring me, so I stuffed him into the lavatory to shut him up.
He says that like it makes sense. Does it make sense to you?
I mean, it's fine. Does he drive like this? Is quite a question.
He doesn't drink and drive, does he?
If you dare touch a single drop on the road, I'll toss you off the runner's back myself!
Anyway, one thing's for sure. Heismay was tied up the whole time, so he never set foot outside, right?
What's all this about frightening Nuris? I cannot imagine you suddenly felt compelled to share ghost stories.
I heard some strange sounds last night. I could tell they were footsteps, but not any I recognized. If it had anything to do with the disappearance of the residents, it could prove my innocence. That's why I spoke up.
I don't think he's lying. With all that fog, I couldn't find the source of the footsteps, but I found plenty of something else. Children's shoes. It was after midnight. No time for children to be out and about. I had the shoes checked at the guard station, and it looks like they belong to the missing children.
Then 'tis likely those footsteps belong to your true culprit.
But the guard said no one left town last night.
Nobody left? But that must mean the culprit is...
It's a ghost inside the town.
Inside the town?
Logically, yes.
If that's the case, I'd like to talk to Barden, but how much of this should we share with him?
If you ask me, it's time to lay out all you know. Taking me with you might help your case, too.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. To bring you before the very man responsible for the bounty on your head, I trust I need not illustrate the risk.
Risk or not, the real culprit's likely one of their own. If you hide me, they'll accuse you of harboring a known criminal. You all had it right. It's time I faced reality. A life on the run leaves no room for me to truly mourn my son.
Heismay.
Whatever the case, let's meet with Barden.
Well, I must say I couldn't hope you'd capture him so swiftly.
Something wrong? You don't look well. Got a face like you've just stumbled upon a dead man.
No, it's nothing. Just surprised you caught him.
Aye, you have my thanks. Clearly we were right to trust you. You'll get your payment in full.
Before that, I want to ask you one question. Why was Heismay the only suspect in this case?
One of the guard witnessed him firsthand. Go on, Morris, tell him.
On the night of the kidnappings, I spotted a Ujif bolting into the wilderness. Several times. No mistaking a squat figure like that. I'm telling you, what are the chances of there being 2 Ujif brigands in the area?
What did you say?
Strange. I don't recall the kidnapper's tribe being listed on the bounty poster. Even the captain seemed surprised, yet you alone knew this.
He's obviously our culprit.
Most strange. Heismay was already in our custody yesterday. In other words, the kidnappings of last night cannot be his doing.
Is this true?
Captain, I'm one of yours, aren't I? You're not gonna trust this little red-eyed bastard over me, are you?
There's also the testimony from the guard at the gate. He reported no one coming or going from the city.
You scabby bounty hunters think you can mock the guard corps like this? Just take your damn blood money and get the hell out of here!
Fine, fine. Keep your hair on. We'll get to the bottom of this eventually.
Is there a problem here? Barden, may I interrupt?
No problem, ma'am.
Was that? Did you hear it, lad?
I mean, no. You have much better ears than me.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Now I see your game, you fiends.
What? He's gone!
Heismay!
Find him! Secure the exits! Don't let him escape!
No good. He's nowhere to be found. What's gotten into Heismay?
I got the impression he sensed something. If he'd meant to escape, he would have done it yesterday.
I think Barden's innocent in all this. The real scumbag here is Morris, his second in command. He framed Heismay with a false eyewitness testimony. Must have figured an exiled Ujif would be a perfect scapegoat.
So Morris, a would-be guard of the people, has been kidnapping the residents and selling them off.
Could be. And there's also those footsteps that old Heismay heard in the night.
Norris is bound to have sobered up by now, right? Let's see how things are outside and get back to the runner.
Are you coherent yet? I didn't take you as the sort to fall so hard into your cups.
Well, an icy bath like that would freshen anyone up.
And tell us again what happened last night. It may be our only clue to tracking down the real culprit.
Bloody hell. Yes, it's coming back a bit. It wasn't just Heismay's reports that shook me. No, I saw something. It was right after I slung Heismay into the bathroom. Out the window, I saw some massive shadow moving through the fog. It wasn't any beast or man of this world. It was a dark messenger, I tell you. A specter from the very bowels of hell. It was like the horrors of every fairy story from my schoolboy days sprung to Stygian life. I was shaken, chums. Shaken to my core. I cried out for help, grabbed for something to steady myself, and all I found was the bottle.
There. You're all right now.
Even if there is some monster behind this, how would it connect with Morris? I don't see why he would be compelled to hide this to the extent of framing Heismay.
True. Let's try investigating the lady's old castle. Heismay's bound to have a reason for bolting off like that.
No good. They said they haven't found Heismay yet, so they can't remove the blockade from the gate. Sounds like he's got them on a wild goose chase.
Fie.
One of our plans then. Should we just sneak in? Oh there, over here. That sounds like...
Evidently.
It's coming from over there. Is he calling for us?
Huh?
Why is Heismay with you? The guard at the gate said they'd not found him yet.
Got to say,
I'm the captain of the guard and I have a responsibility to the truth, to know and uphold it. That's all this is about.
What folly.
Could have avoided all this trouble if you just lobbed my head off to start with. Oddballs, a lot of you. Why did you run off so suddenly?
The truth is...
I did some investigating inside. The moment Lady Joanna cracked the door to the room, I heard the sound of a child's scream. And Lady Joanna is, well, she is childless. Whatever you heard, it cannot have been her own family. No child could get into such a heavily guarded castle unnoticed. Your kidnapper has to be within these walls. My money's on Morris being the weasel. He lied to our faces trying to get us to walk into a human's jaws.
It's absurd.
Morris. No, that's absurd, as he said. I cannot suffer him to kidnap any more innocent children. Please will you help me put an end to this evil? I have nobody else to turn to.
Yeah.
Of course. After all, if we can't use your head for the competition, we'll need a replacement anyway. We're in, right, Will? Of course. Of course we'll help you.
I'm in your debt.
And so?
Seemed to us like no kidnapper could get victims to the castle on our watch, not under all our noses.
But then?
But there was an old underground tunnel that even the castle guards didn't know about, and Heismay's the man who found it. There'd be plenty of places to hide hostages down there. Morris may have known about it as well. Right under the lady's mansion. That's bold. Okay, let's get to work then.
Is that right then?
You should be able to get there from Blindwell Alley at the end of Cattle Racket Road. I've got to return to my post, but I'm counting on all of you. A well leading to an underground channel.
Isn't that?
Everyone's already headed to Blindwell Alley. We can get there by following Cattle Racket Road, so let's go there when you're ready. And I guess my time now is to get ready. Heismay and Noctul. Only 2 names? A member of the Ujif tribe and former knight who Will met outside Martira. A notorious man he was long wanted even, for a series of kidnappings before it was revealed he'd been set up. Like all members of his tribe, he's extremely sensitive to sounds and can detect many odd scant noises. His companions cannot. And therefore, found exactly what we're after.
Alright then.
Going out the way that we didn't want to go earlier because it was all a bit weird, wasn't it? They didn't like the sound of it, the feel of it. Said, oh, and that makes sense now why someone said about going into the well. And I was like, what well? Where's this well we're talking about? I do not know. Well, seeming I am able to save now. I think that is the end of an episode and the end of the session. Where we are now within the story. Everything going on. Our deadlines have gone away. We may have a possible new party member shortly in the form of Heismay the Ujif. And we have a conspiracy going on. But what is happening to those children? What is being done with them? Is it just being childless and wanting a child that badly? Or is it more? Because there was supposedly a big monster around, and there's that human around, so what's going on with the human exactly? How does this tie into this? Does it tie into it? Is it just something we just won't even go back and slay? It's a big head after all. We'll have to find out the next time. Or will we be chasing shadows down that tunnel? I won't see the shadows anyway, will I? Ha 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 ha. I do not know. God damn. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this session, this episode. I will see you next time for more Metaphor Refantazio. And until then, I say, bye-bye.